If it does seem like a waste of time and you don't feel like doing it, good luck to you. Those who do it, I can guarantee you're going to get way further ahead than the people that don't do it. If you're a hypothetical no one right now, then this is your way to become someone. Hey, what's up guys? It's Drea here with Get Vertical Real Talk, and today I have another podcast for you. We will be going over how to set goals in stunt riding. So if you're stuck in a rut and you're having troubles figuring out how to move forward and how to reach a goal, then this podcast is for you. So thanks for tuning in. This is the first and only, I believe, Harley stunt podcast brought to you by Get Vertical Real Talk. So this is a first interactive podcast. So I want you to go to getverticalcoaching.com/resources and print out the Get Vertical Goal Workbook. So this is going to have everything you need for this podcast. You can either pause this right now, go on getverticalcoaching.com/resources and download the workbook now. It's for free. Or you can listen to this all the way through and then go back later, download the workbook and follow along with me again. So, like I said, this is meant to be done with me on that podcast. So once you get your workbook, you're going to see it's laid out in sequential order. So I want you to start with the first page. So I created this workbook because this is basically what I did throughout my entire riding career. But now it's actually all put into a nice little package for you. So, it's kind of cool to be able to see this in person because it's like my thoughts all laid out in an organized manner. And it's a cool way for you to basically have everything written out in a way that you can digest and understand so that your goal isn't so scary anymore. So let's start with the first page. If you look at the first page, I'm going to be like looking at this paper the whole time. So if I'm not looking at the camera, that's why, for those of you watching the video format. So the first page is about your current stunt life. So this page is probably going to be the most painful part of this workbook. It's meant to kind of go dig deep into who you are as a stunt rider. And when you fill out this page, I want you to really think about who you really are. And remember that no one is going to read this. No one but you. And maybe you don't even have to read it after you've written it. Just get it all out onto paper so you can almost like accept and admit the type of rider that you are so that you can move forward from this. Because sometimes there's things that we do that we don't want to admit, but we know is true within ourselves, and it's hard to face it and look in the mirror and accept that we are the issue. So that's the point of this page. So you'll see on the first page it says what type of rider are you? So like I said, this is going to be really raw and painful. So I have pre-filled out this whole workbook for you as an example that I'm going to be sharing on the video podcast on the screen, but I'm going to be going over it also. So I made up a scenario of basically kind of what I felt when I was first starting and before I learned how to wheelie. So this is probably what I would have written. So my current stunt life, you can write something along the lines of this. I'm an insecure rider. I'm afraid to show up to the stunt spot because I suck. I'm scared to introduce myself to the local killers because I'm afraid that they're going to think I'm a complete squid. And I always give up on everything I try to do, and I never accomplish anything hard in my life before. So that's a pretty painful realization when you write it out and see it on paper. But the point of this is to move through this and get through this. So let's break this down a little bit. So how do you feel when you're on your bike currently? Like in this moment in time when you're writing on this piece of paper, literally close your eyes and think how you feel when you get on your bike at the stunt spot, okay? I feel scared, intimidated, and unworthy. I know that's a common thing when you get to the stunt spot and you just feel very not equipped to be there. So the next question would be, How do you feel when you're off your bike? When I'm off my bike, I feel like I'm nothing special. I have nothing special about myself. Maybe no hobbies, nothing, like I'm a nobody, you know? How do others feel about you? So how do other people perceive you? My parents think I'm a failure, and other stunt riders don't believe I can do this. How many of you guys can relate to that? What type of person are you? So the person that I was before I learned how to wheelie, I was always the type of person that gave up and quit even if I was good at it. And I never followed through with anything that I said I would do. So write that down. If that's you, you need to own that and write it down in that little square or that rectangle. So what type of riding habits do you currently have? So I used to come to the lot and waste a lot of time. I would sit there and mess with my bike, pretending to fix it, adjusting things, and just wasting time. I'd make up excuses on why I couldn't ride and when I should just be out there practicing. So once you fill out the first page on what type of rider you are, and you admit your deep, dark, painful reality of a loser you are, now we got it out on the table and we can move forward from this, okay? This is the point of stunt riding, okay? So you can go from a 0 to hero, okay? So don't feel bad that this page is a pile of shit, okay? Because we all were pieces of shit before. So let's move forward. The next page is, what type of stunt rider do you want to become? So when you think about what type of stunt rider you want to become, I don't want you to think about the stunt rider that you think you can become. Okay, let me repeat that. I don't want you to think about what stunt rider you think you can become. I want you to think about the stunt rider that you are willing to become and willing to do the work to become. There's a difference, because the person that you are now might say, I can become just an average stunt rider that does just like basic wheelies, okay? So the person you are right now is the person on the first page that we just filled out. And the person that never accomplishes anything, doesn't do anything great or spectacular, you're just kind of mediocre. But I want you to think about what type of rider you are willing to do the work to become. So when you consider, before you fill out the first section of this page, I really want you to get out of your own box of insecurities. Stop thinking within the confines of your limits, that limiting self-beliefs. This goal should be kind of cringy when you think about it or even say it out loud. It should make you feel kind of uncomfortable when you say it. It should make you feel like it's not possible when you say it or when you write it down. This goal should be somewhat impossible. And the reason why it should be somewhat impossible is because if you make it within reach, then you will reach that goal, but you could have gone way farther if you set your goal higher. So I'm going to give you an example. So in this first box, I want you to be short and specific, but this is my example. My stunt life goal is a full-time professional Harley stunt rider known for my unique skills with 100,000 followers. Okay, it's pretty specific, but it's short. What I really want you guys to understand is that you guys can do anything you want with stunt riding. It's not just like learn how to wheelie and make a bunch of cool friends. Stunt riding will open so many doors of opportunity and joy and happiness to your life that you'll never imagine possible. So if this is something you actually want to do, think of it in bigger terms. Don't just think so small within your own local stunt spot. This is something that can help you reach any goal that you want. I really want you to think large here. Because honestly, if I thought small, being that girl that I was on the first page of this workbook 10 years ago, I wouldn't be talking to you today. So you really do have a responsibility to become an amazing stunt rider, so you have the influence on other riders and they can look up to you just like you look up to me. And I want to open your mind to see the potential within yourself and see that you can really make an impact on the Harley stunt scene, or just in Harley riders or riders in general. Like, you don't even understand that stunt riding is an easy way to become an influencer. And I hate that word only because it just seems so vanity, as far as like, oh, followers, like 100,000 followers is what I wrote on my goal. But it seems such a vanity metric. But at the end of the day, that's 100,000 people watching you and listening to what you have to say. So it's our responsibility to be a role model to these people. Now, if you're a hypothetical no one right now and you have no following besides your family and your friends, then this is your way to become someone. This is a way to make yourself and the world around you proud and make a difference and impact on other people's lives. If I wouldn't have thought large in the beginning of my stunt career, before I could even wheelie, then I wouldn't be talking to you today. And I know I've changed so many people's lives already. So that's just one thing I really want you to consider when you're writing out your goal. So take your time on this. Don't just write any willy-nilly fucking weak-ass goal, okay? You're better than that. You got this, dude. Write something that makes you uncomfortable and makes you feel retarded to say out loud. Because I'm sure where you're at in your stunt riding, saying something like what I wrote, full-time professional Harley stunt rider known for my unique styles and skills with 100,000 followers, would be absolutely embarrassing to say out loud. It's like pretentious and just cocky. But it's not. It's not. It's okay to dream big. And anyone that says that it's too big of a goal, that's too big of a goal for them. So they can just like fuck off. So anyways, let's break this giant fucking goal down. So after you decide what your goal is, now we're going to do some kind of like dreaming a little bit. So we're going to pretend like we're that person. So I'm going to pretend like I'm that full-time professional Harley stunt rider that's known for my unique style and skills with 100,000 followers. Okay. So that's my avatar right now. So keep that in mind when I'm reading my input. Okay. So how do you feel when you're on your bike? So I want you to close your eyes and fill out, how does it feel? How do you feel inside you now that you're a full-time professional Harley stunt rider known for your unique style and skills with 100,000 followers? Fuck. I feel pretty damn confident. I feel brave. I feel strong. I feel athletic. And I feel like an entertainer. Wow, that feels pretty good, doesn't it? Now that you're dreaming, right? So how do you feel when you're off the bike? So that person at the top of this page, how does that person feel when they're off their bike? How do you think they feel? How do you think you would feel if you were that person? How would you feel when you're off that bike? I feel outgoing. I feel like the man. I feel respected. I feel self-made because I did all this. This is all me. I feel like I can achieve anything I want in life. Wow, what a fucking amazing feeling. Next one. I want you to think about how other people feel about you. So these are basically like the same questions as we answered on the first page, right? How do other people feel about me? Well, they look up to me. They respect me. They want to be my friend. And everyone believes in my capabilities. That's pretty much black and white difference from what my first page said. My first page said how did other people feel about me? My parents think I'm a failure and other stunt riders don't believe I can do this. Well, now that I'm a full-time professional Harley stunt rider, known for my unique styles and skills with 100,000 followers, they look up to me, respect me, want to be my friend, and everyone believes in my capabilities. What a change. Okay, now we're still dreaming, right? Okay, so what type of person are you? So what type of person would this person be? This person up here? What type of person would they be? This person is probably a hard worker. I never give up. I always do what I'm going to say. And I'm dedicated and disciplined. You absolutely have to be if you're going to be this. So you might not be that now, but now we know what type of person you have to be if you're going to be this. Okay, so do you see how this is working? What type of writing habits do you have? So on the first page, we wasted a lot of time at the lot. Now that I'm a full-time professional writer, I show up first and I leave last at the lot. I work out to make me a better writer. So maybe my whole lifestyle changes to help me be a better stunt rider. I schedule and set aside days to ride during the week. That is not negotiable. Those are some things that probably a professional stunt rider does, right? So now that we laid out, so I want you to turn the page. Okay, so now we figured out who we are and who we want to be. And what we do on the daily, how we feel and how other people feel about us, and what our future self does on the daily and how they feel about us. So now we got to understand our why. Now the why is your purpose to the goal, and it's the reason you actually want to achieve this why. Okay. Now your why is your purpose to this goal and the real reason why you want to achieve this. Your why is going to propel you forward when you feel like quitting. So your why is actually sometimes hard to dissect because at first initial thought, you might think something like this. So at first thought, you might think, well, I obviously want to be a professional Harley stunt rider because I want to get paid for what I love to do. But is that really the only reason why? So then it walks you through. So what will getting paid for what you love to do get you? Well, of course, it'll bring me money and freedom. And what will that give you? It'll give me money to buy a house and time to travel. Well, what will that give you? It'll give me a sense of accomplishment. So why is that goal important? To prove to my mom and dad I'm not a fucking loser and make my dad proud of me. Point blank. That is my real why. So do you see how this page helps you dissect your real why? Because at first you might think your goal is one thing, your why is one thing, but realistically you dig deep and you realize that your why is actually for a whole different reason. Your why is something that you never thought of, but you got to keep asking yourself, but why, but why, but why? And then when you get real deep, you're like, oh, fuck, it's something totally different than I ever thought it was. So now you have your real why. Now let's prove this motherfucker wrong, that I'm not a loser, and let's get to work. So we're going to get into our success mantra. So this is the next page. I think this is the 4th page. So this might seem like a waste of time. And if it does seem like a waste of time and you don't feel like doing it, good luck to you. But those who do it, I can guarantee you're going to get way further ahead than the people that don't do it. All right, so success mantra. So this is a mantra. It's a goal or mission statement that helps you remind yourself of what and why, so that every practice is a strategic move towards your ultimate mission in your stunt career. Okay, so first I want you to start with an I am sentence. So I am a professional Harley stunt rider. That's my I am sentence. The description of the qualities you have. So this is, remember, we're talking about our future self in the first person. The qualities I have is that I'm confident, brave, athletic with a unique style. The next prompt is what others think of you. Other people respect me and I inspire them. And specific things you do. I get to travel around the country, entertaining crowds and making money. And then you need to end in your why, which makes my father really proud of me. See why all the other pages in the beginning were all leading up to this success mantra? So now I have a goal mission statement. Okay, so now I'm going to put all that shit together, all those small sentences together into one mission statement. So I am a professional Harley stunt rider that is confident, brave, and athletic with a unique style. Other people respect me and I inspire them. I get to travel around the country, entertaining crowds and making money, which makes my father really proud of me. See how that works? Okay, so this is not some made up shit, dude. I'm telling you, this little goal mission statement is something many successful people do. I don't know if you guys ever read the book Think and Grow Rich, but they talk about making basically a mission statement. They call it something else, but basically a statement that you repeat daily or multiple times a day. And at first it seems untrue and fucking just out of this world. But as you repeat it, it embeds into your subconscious mind and your subconscious finds ways to make that happen. Once you write your goal mission statement, it'd be a smart idea to write that on a sticky note. I like to write mine on a sticky note and put it on my dash on my car. So I have to read it. It's just there. Or put it on your mirror. Put it on your mirror where you brush your teeth every morning. But just make it a habit to read that and really read it. And when you read it, believe it. Start trying to believe it, And eventually it's going to become more real, more and more real. And then when it was first cringy to even think it, it's eventually going to be your truth, where you believe it so strongly that literally no one can challenge you on it, because it's what? Yeah, that's my fucking goal. What, bitch? You got something to say? Because you're going to believe it so deeply that no one can stop you. You're going to be unstoppable. I'm not playing. It doesn't matter if you can wheelie or not yet. If you can't wheelie yet, it doesn't mean that that you're not this. It just means that you haven't put in the time yet to become this. You can be this. This can be you. This is not something impossible to do. I'm a normal fucking person. And I'm doing this type of shit. This is not impossible. This is within reach, and people think it's just out of this world. Of course you have friends that can wheelie and they aren't this. But it's because they're boxed in with their self-limiting beliefs, and they don't know how to take the steps forward to become something within greatness in the stunt scene. So there's obviously different types of stunt riders, and it depends on your why, you know, like, so if you are a basics type of rider and you don't care, you rather work a 9 to 5, that's cool. Do your thing, you know, but if you want to become something great, then this is for you. You know, like, don't let your friends that are just doing this for fun stop you from thinking that this is possible, you know, because they're like, oh, I wheelie and I'm not making money and able to quit my job, this and that. Well, that's because they don't know how to break their goals down and make a goal that's actually like uncomfortable, you know? So that's what this next page is going to do. So now that you got your macro goal, so macro meaning large, you got a macro goal and you have a point A and point B. Point A and point B. Okay. So I like to call this like a bridge. So this is the bridge of success. So you're this person and you want to become this person. What do you have to do in between to bridge the gap of skills? That makes it way more tangible and understandable to break down your goals. Now, it might seem overwhelming because you're like, holy shit, like that's a lot of work. But that's why you break down your macro goals into micro goals. So the next page looks like little stairs. I couldn't like find a bridge or I couldn't figure out how to make it cool. But so here's your stairs, I guess, to success. So you're going to start on the bottom and you're going to write who the rider you are. So in this example, I'm the rider that is a normal Harley rider with a 9 to 5 job that no one knows who I am, and I'm a hypothetical nobody. If you can relate, then you can write that same exact damn thing down. Okay. And then before you fill out anything in between, remember point A and point B, you need to write the rider you want to become on the top. So the rider you want to become is a full-time professional Harley stunt rider known for my unique my unique style and skills with 100,000 followers. Okay, remember that was my short and straightforward mission. All right, so now in between, we need to fill out these stairs. So we need to fill out what things we need to do in between to bridge that gap, okay? So this part you're going to fill out are still large goals. Obviously, you got to keep breaking them down smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But this is just like the first step, and you can print this page or however you want to fucking do it and break it down even more. Okay. Anyways, so I wrote down, first thing I need to do to bridge this gap from A to B is learn to wheelie. Step 1, learn to wheelie. Well, while I do that, I guess I can start working on my social media following, and maybe become a more well-rounded rider and learn some burnouts and drifts, and then maybe win some competitions and pick up shows. And then once I do that, and see, we're working up our way up the ladder. Once I do that, then I get some paid sponsorships, and then once I do that, I quit my job and ride full time. I don't think you guys understand that you can live off sponsors. I don't want to talk about numbers, but let's just say you hypothetically have 5 sponsors, and each sponsor is paying you $1,000 a month. That's $5,000 a month. That's like the average pay in America, right? I don't know. So that's like $60,000 a year. Is that average? Are people getting $30,000? I don't even know anymore. $60,000 a year is not bad to be fucking making while you're riding, but I'm not gonna lie. This is a lot. It's really hard work and it takes time. So you got to get on it. So let's make some goals so you can live off this money. Okay. It all honestly is skills and social media. So get on it, dude. So the next page, we're going to break down your macro goals into micro goals. Okay, so the macro goals were on the other side, the goal bridge here. And now we're going to go to the the micro goals. So we'll take the first one on that first step to success. And I'm going to break it down to wheelie. Wheelie. Let's break it down. Okay, that's one giant leap. So how can we break this down so it's digestible and not overwhelming? First, we know we need our damn bike setup. Okay, write that down in your first thing. Bike setup. Next, we need to schedule a few days to ride a week. Recommend 4 days a week, ideal. Third, get vertical coaching course. By the way, I really want to invite you to our online wheelie coaching course. This is a course that's specifically made for Harley riders, but you can learn on any small bike first and transfer the skills to the Harley using the same information. It's broken down from day one to balance point, and you get a Get Vertical app that's easy to access while you're at the stunt spot. You also get online coaching with Bruce and I, so you can ask us direct questions and we can help you out and review your progress over time. You can sign up at www.getverticalcoaching.com. Anyways, that was my little plug. Okay, so then once you have your micro goals set up underneath your macro goal, you make a list of, you break those down even smaller. So under bike setup, maybe you make a list of parts that are in order of priority. So make a list of parts, and then your next step would be maybe sell something to pay for those parts. Schedule 4 days a week to ride. Prepare the night before. So you have 4 days a week to ride. Say it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every night before, set your stuff up, load your bike up in your truck, get your helmet all ready, wipe your bike down, bleed your brakes, whatever the fuck you need to do to be successful and be able to ride the next day. Tell your friends and family that you're unavailable. So those are things that you can do to make sure that you schedule and set aside time to ride that week. With the Get Vertical coaching course, make sure you attend your live group coaching so that we can actually help you. Because if you don't attend, then how the hell are we supposed to help you? And then plan days to work on each drill that we provide in the course. So maybe on your scheduled days to ride, you say, okay, on Thursdays, I'm going to work on those drills and on a new drill. And then throughout the rest of the week, throughout the weekend, I'm going to continue that drill until I nail it down. And then the following week, I'm going to do the next new drill. So that's how you work out your micro goals. So turning the page, this is going to run off of basically that same macro goal and breaking it down as well. So you're going to have to print these last 2 pages for each macro goal. So the goal is wheelie, and we're going to go through each action brainstorming to identify what things are helping and what things are stopping us from doing this goal. Stop making excuses why I don't have time to ride. Stop overthinking and stop wasting time at the lot hanging out. Things that we should do less of would be rushing to the next wheelie and doing some sloppy clutch ups. Stop fixing unnecessary shit on my bike when I could be riding. Those are just some examples of what you can write in those sections. Okay. Keep doing would be keep working on your mindset. Keep doing some flips and selling things to buy and fund bike parts. Continue to chip away and work on your social media content so you can grow your following, because that's a long game. Do more of would be ride more frequently. That's an obvious one. Push past my comfort zone every practice. And then something I'm going to start doing is consciously thinking what I can do differently after each clutch up and adjust. So that's all like kind of wheelie focused. So you're going to do that for each of your steps to success. So anyways, so this is a little goal workbook, and I hope this workbook actually helps you. Like I said, you can print it out, or I think you can type it in the document that I have that you're able to download. It's going to just help you digest and feel like this is a possible thing, because once you have it written out, it's almost like a plan. It's like a map to reach a goal or a destination. Because if you just aimlessly sail and you don't have anywhere to go, you're going to end up nowhere. You're going to end up nowhere. So that's why it's important to set goals and then have stops and wins along the way to keep you motivated to keep going. So because you broken down a large goal into small bite-sized pieces, you're going to get that like dopamine hit every single time you win those small pieces. Every time you sell something and you buy a new bike part, you're like, check, did that. Okay, on to the next one. Good job. Pat on the back. Let's keep going. Getting one step closer to that ultimate goal. And what's cool about becoming that stunt rider is not only becoming a really, really good stunt rider and known for your skills or whatever your fucking goal is, it's also becoming the person that deserves that goal. So if you think about if you think about the person, so if you think about a professional stunt rider that gets paid for what they do, you think, okay, what characteristics does that person probably have? They probably have patience. They probably have grit. They probably don't give up easily. All these things require going through what you're going through now and building these skills to become that person. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope this helps you out. And if it does, I'd love to know. I've gotten some amazing feedback on my Overcoming Fear podcast. So I'm just like super motivated to keep pushing this type of shit out, because this is like, I fucking love this type of shit. So, thank you guys for being there to listen to me. And I want to thank every single one of you for just even taking the time to listen to what I have to say, because I can't shut up. So thanks again. I appreciate you guys.